Welcome, welcome. This is Gull, your money mindset expert. And once again, we have the amazing Myron Golden with us. Welcome, Myron.
Thank you, Gull. Glad to be here.
Myron, everyone's heard once again how amazing you are in the intro, but please tell everybody what it is that you do.
Yeah, I teach entrepreneurs. I teach authors, speakers, coaches, agency owners, and other high-level entrepreneurs how to create, convey, and convert premium value offers. A premium value offer, some people call it a high-ticket offer, but how to create premium value offers and convert those offers faster than any coach on the internet. And so while other coaches are attempting to help their clients have 6- and 7-figure years, we're helping our clients have 6- and 7-figure days, literally. So
Wonderful.
That's what we do.
Wonderful. And this is why I'm so excited to be speaking about today's topic, which is the 3 steps to go from 6-figure in your job to 6-figure months in your business. So
Absolutely.
That is, I know for a fact that this is possible because obviously I've done it and you have hundreds of examples from your clients who've done it. But for those listening to us at the moment, can you tell us, is this even possible, and the time frame, and obviously then we'll go into the steps. How long do you think this will take, and whatever else, just so they can wrap their hand around that this is even possible for them?
Yeah, well, how long it'll take will depend on where you are on the success ladder. So one person might get started and it takes them a month. The other person might get started, it might take them 3 years. It just depends. Right. But regardless of whether it takes you a month or 3 years, remember this: where you're headed is far more important than how long it takes you to get there. So never forget that, right? Yeah. Like, I started as an entrepreneur in 1985, as I shared with you before, and it wasn't until 1999 that I had my first 6-figure year, right? And so that was 14 years. But here's what most people don't realize: the 14 years is going to pass whether I became a 6-figure earner or not.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So the time is going to pass whether you achieve the thing or not. So you might as well achieve the thing. And really, believe it or not, there's 3 components that you need to master in order to build a 6-figure monthly business. And they're not hard, but you just have to pick the right ones, right? And so when you pick those right ones, then it just becomes a matter of, okay, now I've become this person with the mindset, the skill set, and the tool set who can go out and I can build this 6-figure monthly business.
Fabulous. So let's go straight into the first. What's the first step? What was the first step?
Yeah, you have to pick the right business market. There are different markets, and depending on what business market you get into, you can be the smartest business person in the world, have the greatest product in the world, but if it's in the wrong market, it's not going to create 6 figures a month for you in revenue as a business. It's just not. So what are the business markets? So the first market that I recommend you stay as far away from as you possibly can is what I call the commodity market. The commodity market is when you sell a utilitarian thing that serves a purpose, and it doesn't have any, it has intrinsic value, but it doesn't have any perceived value, right? You can use it like a box of nails, for instance. If I sold a box of nails, or this skin cream, right? So I sell skin cream, and it's vitamin E skin cream, right? If I sell vitamin E skin cream, and I sell this vitamin E skin cream for $5, this container for $5, and then you want to compete with me, so you get some vitamin E skincare cream and you sell yours. You're going to sell yours for $4.90. So now you're lowered your price, and your store is right down the street from mine. So I'm going to make mine $4.80. I'll show you, right? And then I'll show you, I'll make mine $4.70. And so what happens? You're selling this utilitarian thing. But the problem is, it has the commodity market has several problems. Number one, the price is created by somebody other than you. Your price is created by your competition, because you have to make your utilitarian price lower than their utilitarian price to get those customers who are what I call cheapo people. They want the cheapest thing they can get, right? And so that's one problem with the commodity market. Another problem with the commodity market is you don't have any conversation with the commodity, with the customer, until they're ready to buy. How much is your vitamin E cream? It's $5. It's $4.70. So you don't have a conversation with them about your product until it's time to buy. Well, that creates a problem, because you don't have time to build value into the thing you're selling. Right. And the biggest problem with being in a commodity market, you're in a race to the bottom. And even if you win, you lose. So that's why I don't. And when I say a race to the bottom, you and your competitors are racing to the lowest possible price where you can still make a little bit of margin. Well, like, that's not a race I desire to win. So I don't like commodity markets. The other market are the next market is what I call like mass markets, like or main markets. And that's where the price is determined by the cost of goods. So if you are a builder and you build houses, you can build a house, you can mark it up 15 to 20%, and then you sell it, you're gonna make 15 to 20%. So if you build a 100,000 pound house, you can sell it for 115,000 pounds, 120,000 pounds. And so you've made your margin. Well, the problem with that is the price is set by the cost of goods. Like how much money you can make is determined by how much it costs you to create that thing. And the conversation about the product happens away from you. So I don't know in the UK what websites you guys have, but if you sell houses in the UK, somebody can go on Zillow and look for how much your house is worth. And so they tell you, this is how much I'm willing to pay you for your house. So now you've created a product, and you have some third party telling your customer how much they should pay you for your product. I don't like that. Or if it's a car, in the States, we've got Kelley Blue Book. So you got Kelley Blue Book tells you, or you've got Carfax that tells you this is how much you should pay for this car. Well, I don't want some third party telling my clients how much they should pay for my product. Like that's unacceptable to me. So I don't like main markets or mass markets. So I want to find what I call a PVM, a premium value market.
Okay.
What's a premium value market? Well, the price in a premium value market, the price is set by the result you can create for your customer. Oh, now tell me more. So for instance, like you live in the UK, I drive a British car, right? I have a Rolls Royce, right? So in my Rolls Royce, it's a $330,000 car. Well, first of all, let's talk about the fact nobody needs a $330,000 car.
No,
right?
no one does, but obviously why not? Yeah.
Right. No, nobody needs that, right? So, but why do I have a $330,000 car? And I just said nobody needs one. Well, because premium value markets aren't based on needs; they're based on desires, right? They're not based on
powerful, yeah.
Right, and they're not based on intrinsic value; they're based on perceived value. What does that mean? Well, let's take a brand new Kia. Brand new Kia might cost $33,000. That's 1/10 of the price, which means my car costs 10 times more. But it doesn't go 10 times faster. The tires aren't 10 times more round. It doesn't get 10 times better gas mileage. The windshield's not 10 times as clear. The seats are probably a little more comfortable, but they're not 10 times more comfortable. No. So how can they sell that car for 10 times what a brand new Kia would cost? Well, the reason they can do that is because they've created 10 times the perceived value.
Wow.
Right. And so what is perceived value? Perceived value is what your client perceives as valuable. And so what I perceive as valuable for me is, and this is a motto that I live by, and other people some people will think I'm being arrogant or pompous when I say this, but that's their problem and I don't have time to fix it for them. But the reality is I believe I deserve the best. And because Rolls-Royce is the best in luxury brands, I bought that car for myself because it's the best. I'm the best. I deserve the best. And so I give myself the best. Now, what makes Rolls-Royce the best? Well, we can talk about that in a little bit, but what makes Rolls-Royce the best, right? So that's going to be determined by one, price, right? If you're the cheapest, nobody believes you're the best. And if you're the best, nobody expects you to be the cheapest. So one of the reasons people believe Rolls-Royce are the best is because they're one of the most expensive car brands out there, right? But also they're handcrafted. Also, they have luxury things they're not 10 times the intrinsic value, but like I have an umbrella in the driver's side fender and in the passenger side fender, a Rolls-Royce umbrella in the fender. So if it's raining, my umbrella is always with me, right? So if I named all of the things that the car has, none of them would add up in intrinsic value to $330,000.
Yeah.
Which means because Rolls-Royce is a premium value brand, they have a much larger margin than Kia.
Yeah, of course they do.
Right. So when you become a premium, like a seller of premium value offers, PVOs, premium value offers, when you create a PVO, now your margin is higher than the average person. I'm a coach. There are a lot of coaches out there. They charge $150 an hour, $155 an hour, $500 an hour, $1,000 an hour, and they're happy with that. I'm happy for them. Like my per hour rate is $25,000 an hour. Now people say, how do you charge $25,000 an hour? I do it just like this. Somebody says, how much is it for coaching for an hour? I say $25,000. That's how I do it. Okay. And either they pay or they go away. And either way, I'm okay. Right. Yeah. So pay or go away. Either way, I'm okay. Right. And that's how much I charge. The clients who want my coaching, that's how much they pay. If they want to pay less, go pay somebody else to be your coach. Right. And so, and what people conclude is, well, he must be the best because he's the most expensive. Right. And that doesn't make me the best, but I am the best. And that's why I charge that amount. And the other reason I charge that amount is there are other things I could do with my time. There are other things I could do with my time that would be less than, that would make me more than $25,000 in an hour. So why would I spend time talking to one person for an hour for only $25,000? That doesn't make any sense. Right. And so you want to pick the right market, premium value market. And it's not just coaching. People do it with cars. They do it with houses. They do it with all kinds of things, right? Just think about how can I turn this thing that I'm doing, this value, into an experience, right? And so like if I were a fitness trainer, I would charge more than every other fitness trainer, and I would create experiences for my clients. And I might do immersions in Hawaii or Bali or Tulum or we would go someplace and we would have a week-long immersion where I would infuse my methodology into them, and I would charge them more than anybody in the world charges them, right? And I'd give them an experience and they would get a result, right? So that's one, pick the right market. Then you need to pick the right business market. Then you need to pick the right business model. So that's
number two is pick the right business model.
Right. And there are 4 business models. There's LV, there's LV times LP, which is what I call the entrepreneur business model. Okay. So LV stands for low volume. LP stands for low profit. Low volume times low profit equals entrepreneur. So you have people, and they start this business, what they call a side hustle, and they may sell makeup, they may sell vitamins, they may sell whatever, or they may be an author and they sell 25 books a year, right? That's low volume, low profit, right? They sell makeup, but they only get 3 clients a month. That's low volume, low profit. Low volume, low profit is entrepreneur. You want to be an entrepreneur, but you just don't know how, right? Okay, so that's LV times LP equals entrepreneur. Okay, so then you have LV times HP, which is low volumes times high profit. That's an entrepreneur, right? So you may have a coaching program that you sell for $15,000, but you only sell 4 of them a month, right? That's low volume. You're making 4 sales per month, but because you're making 4 sales a month, you're doing $60,000 in revenue. Yeah. Right. Okay. So low volume, high profit equals entrepreneur. Then you have LV. And then you have HV times LP. That's low volume. High volume times low profit. Now you're what I call a Waltrepreneur. And the reason I call that a Waltrepreneur is because that was the Sam Walton business model, right? Low profit. He said, we never want to make more than 30% markup on our products. If we get a good deal from a manufacturer, we're going to pass that deal on to our customers. So they're high volume, low profit, right? And he became the richest man in the world, that business model. That's fine if that's the business model you want. A lot of e-commerce sellers are high volume, low profit. That's the business model the business model they've chosen. My favorite business model is the business model that I use. HV times HP, high volume times high profit equals wealthtrepreneur, right? So this is what gives us wealth. Yeah, exactly. And so that gives us the ability to do between $500,000 and $1.3 million a month and operate between 47 and 87% profit month after month after month.
Yeah. And that's what you're going to be.
Right. Because we chose the Wealthtrepreneur. So I have a lifestyle business. I work in my business on average about an hour or 2 a day. And our business generates on average, we have some months that are a little higher, some months are a little lower, but our average, last year, our average was about $6 million. Right. Our average was about $500,000 a month on average. We had months that were better. We had months that were less, but our average was $500,000 last month because we did I think we did like $6,092,000 in revenue last year. Well, this year, our goal, like low end, we have one product that our goal is to get at minimum 1,000 people into that program. right? So when we get 1,000 people into that coaching program, it's $27,000. That's going to be $27 million. We have another coaching program that is $155,000. Right now, we're almost at 100 people. Once we get to 100, we're capping it. So that's another $15.5 million, right? You add that together, now you're at 40 million, right? Plus, we have ticket sales and book sales and all this other stuff. So if we get to 10,000, our stretch goal is 10,000 members in that first coaching program I was telling you about. Well, we get 10,000 members in that coaching program at $27,000. That's $270 million. Right. So those are our goals. And each one of those coaching programs are annual renewable. So let's say we only get 1,500 people in that coaching program this year. Over a 10-year time period, we'll definitely have our 10,000 people in that coaching program. And then we'll have $250 million a year business. So that's how we do it. So that's wealth. That's the wealth entrepreneur business. So we have you got to have the right business model, right? So we want the premium value market. The right business market, premium value market. Then we got to have the right business model. I prefer the fastest way to create wealth is high volume, high profit. That's the business model I chose, right? And then you want to have the right market to message match. What does that mean? You want to be able to articulate. It's not enough to have a good product. You have to be able to put it in words, either on the internet or on a piece of paper, or the words have to come out of your mouth on a video. People have to the words have to create a connection between your client's desire and whatever your offer is. Exactly. And so the reality is your client doesn't care about all of your qualifications. Well, we've been in business X amount of years. Like people say, well, what do you do? Well, we are the XYZ of ABC, and we've been in business for 35 years, and we are trustworthy and honest and reliable. Well, every business is going to say that. If you can't say something that differentiates you from every other business, nobody cares. So you have to, and here's how you make your message resonate with a client. You have to call out a specific group of people. You have to understand what their specific pain is. You have to understand what the specific pleasure is that they desire, and you have to have a clear path to get them from where they are to where they desire to be, out of pain and into pleasure. And you have to be able to speak that in a soundbite. So when people ask you what you do, they're never really asking you what you do because they don't really care what you do. So you start going into your drunkalog about we do yada, 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 yada. Nobody cares, right? So what you really have to say is when people say, what do you do? Here's what they're saying. What can you do for me? That's what they're really saying. You have to be able to say it. So you have to be able to say it in a soundbite. That's why people say, Myron, what do you do? I help authors, speakers, coaches, agency owners, and other high-level entrepreneurs create, convey, and convert premium value offers faster than any coach in the world. In fact, while other coaches are helping their clients, attempting to help their clients have 6- and 7-figure years, we are helping our clients have 6- and 7-figure days. Boom. In a soundbite. In less than 30 seconds, I told people who I'm looking for, which means if they're not an author, a speaker, a coach, an agency owner, or a high-level entrepreneur, I'm not your coach. Right? If you don't desire to create, convey, and convert premium value offers faster, I'm not your coach. If you only want to have a 6- or 7-figure year, there's another coach for you. If you want to have a 6- or 7-figure day, I'm your guy. See, I told them my message matched my ideal market. And if that's not them, if the person says, well, nobody can help people have 6- and 7-figure days, that's exactly why I created my message. Your message should be designed to repel the wrong audience as much as designed to attract the right audience. Agreed.
And that's quite powerful because I think this will, from some people listening, this would be a real eye-opener and maybe even having impact on the paradigm. Because a lot of people think, well, I work 9 to 5, or most of the time in the corporate world, it's not 9 to 5, it's about 8 to 8, 8 to 12. Right. And then being in bank finance, I had that 8 in the morning to 12 at night. That was my normal day.
Yeah, if a company pays you 6 figures, they want you to know they own you.
Exactly, and they did. Yeah, they did pretty much. Right. And they're used to doing something crazy 60 to 70 hours a week in the corporate job, making multiple 6 figures, but they are literally selling their souls to the corporate jobs. Right. And to move into a business where they can make those multiple 6 figures on a monthly or a daily basis, it's quite the paradigm shift.
Yeah, they can't wrap their minds around it. Right. And they're so when people who are stuck at Chuck in a pickup truck in that paradigm, when they hear me talk, they're saying, there's no way. That's and if you are the person,
there must be no legal way to do this. That's
right,
normally the response I get. There can't be no
right,
legal way. Like, yes, it is.
right. Right. When you've got companies like Tesla and Microsoft and Netflix and all of these other major corporations that are generating way more revenue than that. Right. Apple like comes out with a new iPhone and they do $100 million in the first month. And nobody says, well, nobody can do that. Well, they just did it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And if Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak can create this company that takes over all these different industries, like you think they're better than you. Like if you think you can't do it, you think they're better than you. I don't think anybody's better than me. I don't think I'm better than anybody else, but I don't think anybody's better than me either. And if one human being can figure it out, you can figure it out.
Agreed. Oh, I love that. I think this is the philosophy that I really push forward as well. That I think keeps you grounded, keeps you very humble, at the same time keeps you the confidence that if one person can do it, you can do it. Because there's no one on the planet, no person on the planet who's better than I. No one, not a single person.
No one. Exactly.
At the same time, I am no better than any other person on the planet. We are all equal in our own way. And if they can figure out, if they can do something with their divine gifts, then I can do it too with my divine gifts. But I can also do it, but in a different way with my divine gifts, with my divine guidance. And I really believe that to be the case. And I'm so glad that we're in alignment with that. All right, so that's step number 2. So what's step number 3 then?
No, that was step number 1 was the right business model. Right business market. Step number 2 was the right business market. Step number 3 was what I just said, the right message, market to message match. You got to get your messaging down. You have to be able to say it. So many people, so many inventors die broke because they were able to invent the thing, but they weren't able to describe the thing they invented. Steve Jobs, what made him a genius was not the fact that he knew how to create an Apple computer. He didn't create the Apple computer. Steve Jobs did. See, Steve Wozniak was the implementer. Steve Jobs was the Imagineer and the communicator. Here's what Steve Jobs said when he held up the first iPhone. He said, it's a phone, it's a browser, it's a music player. Notice how many points he had. It's a phone, it's a browser, it's a music player. He spoke in triplicate. Why? Because we live in a 3-dimensional world and we think in threes. We think in past, present, and future, up, down, and sideways, like hot, warm, and cold. So when he said it's a phone, it's a browser, it's a music player, he talked about 3 things this was that that was way more than that. But he didn't talk about everything that was. He said it's a phone, it's a browser, it's a music player. You need to figure out what your messaging is. I help my clients create, convey, and convert premium value offers. See, I did that in 3s intentionally. And so you have to get your messaging down. So one of the things I teach people to get their messaging down. So if you're running an ad, for instance, the biggest mistake I see when people run ads, which causes them to flush like thousands and tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars down the toilet, is when they're running ads to cold traffic, they're attempting to lead them towards pleasure. That is always a mistake.
Okay.
Why? Because strangers don't trust you to lead them into pleasure. If you attempt to get a stranger to believe you're going to lead them into pleasure, you are causing them to distrust you. But a stranger will trust you to lead them out of pain. Here's what I mean. So let's say you go downtown London, you're in Canary Wharf, right? And there's some guy standing on the street corner. 50-pound notes, free 50-pound notes. They're giving away free 50-pound notes, right? Are you going to go say, I'll take one of those? No, you're going to say, what's that guy doing? This has got to be a scam, right? You're going to you're going to think they either want to get me close enough to clone my phone, steal my credit cards, pick my pocket, throw me in a panel van and take me to an undisclosed location, right? Whatever thought comes to your mind, it's not, well, that person's giving away 3 50-pound notes, right? But let's say you are stepping up on the curb, you trip, you hit your head on the stop sign post. Blood is everywhere. That same stranger comes over to you. He gives you a handkerchief. You put this on your head. You don't know where that handkerchief's been, but you put it on your head. He says, I don't have my phone. Let me have your phone so I can call like an EMT, right? I want to call an ambulance. So you give them your phone, you unlock your phone for this stranger. Why? Because we trust strangers to help us out of pain, but we don't trust strangers to lead us into pleasure.
That is absolutely powerful. Even I didn't know this. So this is
so watch this now. I'm gonna blow your mind. You ready? So when you want to run an ad for cold traffic, somebody who does not know you, you always warn them about impending danger. Like you say, warning, the 7 biggest mistakes employees make when leaving their job to start a business that caused them to go broke in the first 9 months. A person will opt into that faster than if you say 7 secrets to 7 figures as an entrepreneur.
Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. I need to tell my album.
Oh, yeah, right, exactly. Like if you say, warning, the 3 biggest mistakes businesses make, or the 7 biggest mistakes that businesses make that keep them from 7 figures. That will always convert better than 7 steps to 7 figures for entrepreneurs.
Wow.
Right. So that's what I mean. You got to get your messaging right. And then once you deliver on the promise of leading them away from the danger, now they trust you. Now you can lead them into pleasure. Like if you would do that. Okay. You want to know something? You ready for this? Our business last month did over $500,000 in revenue. And we spent $0 on ads.
Wow. Okay. That's phenomenal. I want to know how.
Right. Well, I'm going to tell you how. I'm going to tell you how in a minute. But before I tell you how, I'm going to tell you the other part of the messaging. So when you're creating messaging, you want to use a concept that I call an ATF. Like when you're telling people what you do and you're telling them what you can do for them, you want to use a concept called an ATF. Right. And an ATF is an alliterated tricolon formula. Alliterated means all of your points either begin with the same letter or prefix, or they end with the same suffix. Okay, that's the alliterated part. Tricolon means you're going to have 3 points. Formula means every time you talk to somebody about what you do, you're going to do it every time, not some of the time, every time. You're going to have alliterated tricolon formulas for everything. Like I might talk to you about 3 pages out of Apple's $3 trillion playbook. And the reason Apple has grown into a $3 trillion company is because Apple has figured something out that nobody else has figured out. They understand what business they're in. They're in the business of acquiring customers. They're in the business of awing those customers. They're in the business of assembling those customers for virtual and live events. So what did I just do? I gave you an alliterated tricolon formula. So when I give you an ATF, it makes it easy for you to remember what I said. It makes it easier for you to relate to what I said, and it makes it easy for you to resonate with what I said. See, I just used an alliterated tricolon formula to prove an alliterated tricolon formula. And so the more, when you learn how to, when you teach yourself how to talk like this, your content will sound better than everybody else's content because you get to the point and make a point faster than anybody else talking about the same thing. So that's the other way we are really good. And when we do spend money on our ads, our ad budget goes further than other people's ad budgets. Why? Because when people find you in an ad, what's the first, like when you see an ad and you're like, wow, that sounds interesting. What's the first thing you do about the company or the person that had that ad? What's the first thing you do?
Go and search on their website.
Well, you go to their website. Well, they'll go there. But if you want to find out, if you want to do some research on it, you're going to go Google them.
Yeah.
Right. So here's what you've got to do. People say, Myron, how do I find people to sell my stuff to? You're asking the wrong question. The question is not how do I find people to sell my stuff to? The question is, how do I make myself findable for people who already want to buy what I already want to sell?
Oh, what a wonderful concept. Okay.
Right.
Wonderful.
So what if, Gull, you were operating from the paradigm, there are already millions of people in the world, cash in hand, who would love to pay me whatever I charge for the value I provide. They just don't know I exist. So now, how do I make myself findable? Yeah. And so what you have to do is you have to create what I call ABC content. What is that? Audience builder content. And so you put out content that's a value-added content, free content that makes you findable on different topics. And so what happens when somebody sees your ad, now they Google you, your ad dollars go further because now you've given people a way to do a deep dive on you. So they've pre-indoctrinated themselves with your content before they ever come to your sales mechanism. You see what, like, that's it's so powerful. It's mind blowing. People talk about spending $100,000 a month on ads. I've been an entrepreneur since 1985. I've not spent $100,000 on ads since 1985. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't spend money on ads. We spend money on ads. Like we're building out our own in-house agency right now. And I'd happily spend $100,000 on ads. But when I spend $100,000 on ads, it's going to make me millions of dollars in revenue.
Because you're building up organic content first. And I think this is one of the main reasons we did the podcast as well. One, this is a medium that I enjoy the most in talking, but it also when person such as Gull, my podcast comes everywhere, and Money Mindset Gull Khan is now one of the top ranking in UK and abroad to most countries as well.
So,
And I just show up everywhere.
So one of the things I'm going to do for you, Gull, one of the things I'm going to do for you right now, I'm going to give you a gift. I'm going to send you money every month. Okay. I run a challenge. Okay. I do it every month. And we sell tickets. So you can either buy a ticket for $97 or $297. Okay. I'm going to, if you would like to become an affiliate, I'm going to make you an affiliate. Then you can put a link under this episode with your affiliate link for people to go buy my challenge so they can learn the secret science that I teach. And on this 5-day challenge, it's, you know how some people will do a webinar or they'll do a challenge or they'll do an event and it's like a sales pitch disguised as training?
Yeah. Okay.
That's not how I operate. Okay. So I'm going to tell you right now, at the end of the challenge, I'm going to make you an offer. Right. But you're not going to buy it because I tried to get you to buy it. I'm not going to try to get you to buy it at all. I'm going to tell you I'm going to make you an offer. I'm not going to try to get you to buy the offer. I'm just going to teach you so much cool ninja stuff during the challenge that by the time the challenge is over, you're not going to want that learning to end. So you're going to buy the coaching. Like literally, that's my sales mechanism. I don't do high pressure sales. If somebody says, Myron, I'm thinking about buying your coaching program and somebody else's. Why should I buy yours? You know, my answer always is you should go buy theirs. Go buy theirs. Yeah, go buy theirs. If you're not 100% sure I'm the guy who can get you the result you want, you don't even understand the arena you're in right now. Go buy theirs. Because in my mind, if you want the results that I produce, it's not a question of if you're going to buy from me. It's just a question of when. Yeah, exactly. And I love that. And I love this idea of giving so much in value beforehand. We do this. We our workshops or similar format. We currently had 5 days, but we converted onto 2 days. And then the idea is in the challenge or the workshop that we have, I give so much content and so many high valuable tools. We do energy tools because I work with energy. We give so much aha moments and tools and such transformation in those, the 2 days or used to be 5 days, that people are already willing to go. So the idea is not if they're going to buy. The idea is when they can afford. If they can have the money, they can come up with the money, they'll buy. Otherwise, they save the money to join us. And the idea is no hard sales. I'm welcoming people to come and join us when they're ready. Exactly. That's exactly. I'm telling. It's amazing that people are smart enough to figure out whether something is for them or not. Yeah. And we've had people who've gone through my challenge, and just the stuff they've learned on the challenge has changed their life and increased their income. I had a guy tell me, so I wrote a book called Boss Moves. I don't know if you've read that or not, but I wrote a book called Boss Moves, Business Optimization Success. What's that? It's in my Amazon. I think it's on Amazon. No, it's not on Amazon. You can only buy it on my website. Okay. So, but what's interesting about it is a guy just joined my inner circle, which is $155,000 a year, right? And he looks like he might be 27 or 28 years old. I'm thinking to myself. And so he came on office hours yesterday, and he said, yeah, it was his first time. He said, yeah, Myron, this is my first time here. I just joined the inner circle. He said, yeah, I bought your book, Boss Moves. I did the stuff in the book. I made $500,000. The book came out last October. Wow. And I'm like, you did what, bro? I'm like, you got to give me a video testimonial. I want that video testimonial on the book website. Right. It's not shocking to me that the principles in that book, are what I use in my business. So it's not shocking that they work. It's like, but wait, you did what? Right. So when you help people, there is no substitute for being good. Yeah. And if you can actually get clients results, they'll happily pay you and tell their friends. And that's exactly what happens. That's why we have 90 something people in our inner circle. That's $155,000 a year. Makes sense. And I think the idea is, I always see this, whatever investment you make, it's what's the ROI can you get? What's the return? Yes. And if I can't help somebody make 10x the amount they invest in a program that I sell, then the price is too high. Yeah, agreed. And it's the integrity and the kind of, I think the personal attention that you give to your clients as well. I mean, I'm very vested in my clients, and I always make sure that we're able to cover. I don't guarantee the returns because I find that be unethical because everyone's a different journey. But I always do give the one guarantee we offer is if you don't make the money twice the money you make, we'll carry on working with you. We have a 12-month program, but we'll carry on working with you
until you've made twice the money that you invested into the business. Because most people make 10 times the amount, but it's to get them over that hurdle that and give them the reassurance I'm there to help them, not to take the money off them. I think this is something that you also need to convey to your clients, that you're more interested in them than their money. I think this is, and it has to come across not just in your words, but in your mannerism, in the way in your actions, and the way you behave with your clients, not just those clients, but other clients. Because when you're interacting with other clients, people are watching you. How are you behaving?
Absolutely, 100%. So,
okay.
So those are the 3 steps. Like it's what we do. It works. So
wonderful. So this is amazing. So we can do a quick recap on this. So the 3 steps are as follows. The first step is high premium
value market, the right business market, premium value market. Yep.
And then the second one is to have the right
wealth to business model.
Okay, the right business model.
High volume times high profit. Is my favorite. It's not the only one, but it's my favorite, right?
Yeah, it's my one as well, for me as well. And the third step is the right messaging, which is
the market to message match. So when you're talking to cold traffic, lead them away from pain. And when you're telling people what you can do for them, use an alliterated tricolon formula and tell them that you can do something for them that they can't figure out how to do by themselves. Like, that's it. You do that, you will have a business that's so successful, it's mind blowing.
Fantastic, wonderful. So on that note, we're going to take a wrap. So tell us, Myron, how can people connect with you? How can they carry on learning from you? And we will have your affiliate link. We'll have our link in the show notes as well.
Yeah. So you can go to my website, myrongolden.com. You can follow me on Instagram. It's like my name, Myron Golden. There's no dashes, no spaces, no underscores, no period, no anything. Just at Myron Golden. Any other Myron Golden that you see is a fake, right? So, and there are a lot of fake Myron. It's like they create 7 new fake Myron Golden accounts a week, and Instagram won't shut them down. But we're working on getting the blue check mark, so we'll have that resolved here shortly. So that's what we do, and that's how you can reach out to us. But most importantly, join the challenge. Gull is going to have her affiliate link for my challenge. It's $97, or the VIP experience is $197. You get to be in a group where people are asking me questions. You might even get to ask your question. I do Q&A 5 days. It's literally, if you join the challenge as a VIP, you're getting 10 hours with me, which would be worth $250,000 if you paid me for that time one-on-one, right? 10 hours with me, 5 hours of VIP Q&A, and 5 hours of training for only $297. And the VIP experience that comes with a 10 times better than money back guarantee. So what's that? If you, at the end of the week, if you do not believe that what you learned was worth 10 times what you paid for it, all you have to do is let us know. As soon as it's over, send us an email and we'll send you your money back. No questions asked. And we won't even be mad at you. So
Wonderful. What an amazing guarantee. Wonderful. So if you are listening to us on the podcast, remember the links to Myron, his website and his Instagram will be there, along with our Money Mindsets affiliate link will be there too. So if you go to click on there and join the challenge or upgrade to the VIP experience, which I highly recommend because I think it's absolutely fantastic. I think I'm going to join the channel because I really want to check him out too. But do go check him out. And if you're watching us on the YouTube, then down below in the description section, once again, we'll have all the links to Myron and our affiliate link in there for you to go and join his challenge. He has been phenomenal, and just this half an hour that we just had discussion, imagine what kind of golden nuggets and what kind of information he will convey to you in those 5 days in his challenge. Well, thank you so much, Myron. It's such an amazing.
My pleasure.
It's been phenomenal, and I would wish this could continue forever, but we will have to leave. And thank you so much for being with us.
Absolutely, my pleasure, Gull. Thank you for having me. It has been my pleasure, and I trust that something I shared is going to help your people.
I think so too. And thank you for listening to me and Myron today on Money Talkies. I will be back with another amazing guest, asking them for golden nuggets so that we can learn from them and so that you and I can build a better business. Until the next time we meet, this is Gull signing off. Take care and bye for now.